Hey everybody, I wanted to go through this real quickly with you. This is just a real quick overview of a new unit, which is going to be focused on Shakespeare. We're going to be looking at sonnets and more and the Romeo and Juliet play. So hopefully, when you first came to class, you were able to just relax and read a little bit, kind of get back in the swing of things after a 4-day weekend, which I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, so hopefully you did that. And don't forget, please try to get a copy of this. It might be helpful for you to annotate. I am doing my best to procure an entire class set, um, but we'll see how that works. I'm working on it. But anyhow, so there you go. Okay, so one thing I want you to think about is what you already know about Shakespeare. I think sometimes we assume that people know so much, especially as English teachers, assume that you know a ton of it just because we've been surrounded by it, for decades, because a lot of us are old. Anyway, so I want you to think about what you already know. I mean, a lot of people say, well, he's the balding guy with the goatee who wrote a bunch of plays that people always complain about. Well, maybe. And that's okay. What I'm going to ask that you do is, whatever negative things you've heard about Shakespeare, like, oh my gosh, he's so tricky to read. I can't stand it. It's so hard and all that stuff. I'm going to ask that you suspend that a little bit and let me do my job and help you through it because it's pretty cool. And yeah, there will be times where we'll be reading some Shakespeare. Well, we will all look at each other and say, what? And that's okay. That's where we can figure it out together. And I mean, just so you can get an idea of the complexity that he wrote in, you'll be amazed at his storylines. Maybe not the words, maybe not the way he phrases things. I mean, that will come eventually. But I think you'll like his storylines and his sonnets. And sonnets, if you don't know, sonnets are a type of a poem. They're 14 lines. And yay, you get to write one. That's coming later. All right. So the first thing I'm going to ask that you do is go to this site, and I will have a link on my webpage for you to go to. And it's about 15 to 20 minutes long. I like the video mainly because when you watch it, it's a little bit different than a typical, hey, Shakespeare was born in such and such. It gives a little bit different information. I mean, it's actually called Why Shakespeare? Like, why do we still do this? And some parts of it are kind of corny, but there's some parts of it where you go, oh my gosh, look at all these people who are still practicing Shakespeare. And I mean, very unlikely people will be working or will be dealing with Shakespeare. So um, take some time and watch that. And if you're struggling to watch it because it's YouTube, which I don't think should be a problem, because if you can watch this, you can watch that, then ask the sub to see if she can help you out. Or ask somebody around you because I believe you guys can go on certain Wi-Fi. And if you go staff Wi-Fi, maybe, you can watch all YouTube. So you'll watch that. And then this I just want to show you because after you watch it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, Shakespeare is everywhere. You're right. And you'll notice from the hearts hanging from the wall, and you'll notice from this, there's so many phrases that we use of Shakespeare's and he would make up while he was, or for his plays. Because his deal was, if I can't find the right phrase, if I can't find the right words, I'll make it up. So these might be something you might know, like knock knock, who's there? Or in a pickle. This is a big one, fight fire with fire. Um, the one that I like the most, see if it's in there. There it is. A Brave New World. We see that a lot. That's from The Tempest, which is one of my favorite plays. But Brave New World is also a story, or is a novel written by, is it George Orwell? Gosh, all of a sudden, no, Huxley. Anyway, but Brave New World is from a Shakespeare play. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, so a couple things about this unit. Over the next few weeks, you'll be writing some expository essays, and you'll write a script based on Romeo and Juliet. And I just say RJ just because it's a little bit shorter. And we'll be reading Romeo and Juliet. And I shouldn't say RJ, I usually write it. And then we'll be looking at scripts and how they're used in theater. And we'll be looking at some pretty challenging literature that we're going to be able to get through. And if all goes as planned, we do some mini acting. But those are the major goals for this unit. And at this point, I'm going to ask that you get a calendar. And I don't remember. I think I might have printed it out on, yikes. I don't remember what color I printed it out on. possibly blue. I don't know. Anyway, but make sure that you look over that calendar very carefully. There's some Apex units that you can be working on, and you can work ahead on them. Absolutely work ahead on them. So get your calendar, and I'll ask the sub to have them out ready for you. It should be on my desk. All right, so here's the scavenger hunt part. There's a 3-page document that should be next to the calendar, and in the 3-page document, there are several questions that I'm going to ask that you look up and get the answers to for Shakespeare. Now, there's links that I have on my Canvas page, and it's on the front cover of this packet that will lead you to reliable websites where you can get the information. When I made the answer key for it, I'm just going to warn you, a couple of them I'm like, I'm just going to Google the answer. You get this really funky site. It's that answers.com that comes up. I don't know, kind of a sketchy little site. Maybe the couple times I'm like, that's not even the right answer. I don't even know what they're doing. So just be careful in that and answer very completely, because we will be taking a grade on it, and you will likely not finish it in the time allotted in class. I am going to ask the sub to collect them, and so that I can give you some more time next class period to work on it. So make sure that you turn in the packet before you leave today. All right, so here you go. You're going to need to, well, obviously you have a Chromebook, otherwise you wouldn't do this. This is for if I was here, I suppose. Then follow the directions in the handout and turn in when finished. All right, and I will not be here in the afternoon tomorrow. Hopefully I'm going to be better, but I won't be here tomorrow in the afternoon because I have a curriculum meeting, but I will be in the morning. So if you have any questions, come on by. All right, talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.